world champion, now Olympic champion. The thing is that you embrace pressure so very well and come out on top. Is there a newfound respect that should be towards you?
No. No. If you like me, if you like me. If you don't, you don't. I'm not going to hate anybody that doesn't like me. But all I'm going to say is, don't downplay other people just because you don't like someone. Just go to the guy you like. But I appreciate anybody who has found respect for me. But to be honest, this crowd was amazing. This field was amazing. This is the exact field that I wanted to show up at an Olympic final. Because if I was to lose to, any of those guys in the top three, I would have said, that's well-deserved.
Talk to me about the race, though, and how close it was, and the time, a personal best.
Yeah, it was a very close race. I'm glad I had Oblique Seville next to me because I was like, I need somebody to put that pressure on me early. I know that in a lot of races he's been like 1 or 2 lanes away from me, and he's been able to get out just in that the acceleration phase, and I've just been missing it. And I was like, nah, now that you're right next to me, I'm gonna make sure that I cover that. And then after I passed him, I saw Kashane out there, and I was like, just do what I do, hit my top end speed, let it work. And to be honest, I didn't know if I had it. I leaned, but I didn't know I had it. Me and Kashane were at the end waiting for our names to come up, and I came back, and I said, I'm going to be honest, man, I think you got that one.
Oh.
Yeah, but my name came up, and I was like, oh, my gosh, I'm amazing.
And you are. What do you take away from this in terms of your legacy? How do you describe it in this moment?
In this moment, I've waited a long time. I've seen Jamaicans dominate the 100 and the 200 for so long, and I remember growing up saying, when it's my turn, I'm gonna make sure that the U.S. is on top. And here it is. Here's my time and my journey, my moment. It's such a beautiful thing to see.
Enjoy the moment, brother.
I thank you.
Yes, sir. Big JTV, man. Like, comment, subscribe, especially subscribe, man, or even share. We got to talk about it, man. We got to talk about the fact that Noah Lyles, Mr. Championship of what? World champion of what? His weird, cringy self. I'm going to be real, man. I don't think I've disliked the dude in track and field more than I've disliked this individual. But I respect him greatly, because very rare in the world of sports can somebody talk they ish and back it. You know what I mean? Very, very rare. And what happened was we saw, at least for me, I'm going to go on my end, one of the best 100-meter dashes ever of all time. And it's going to be something of legend, something of history, something of great importance, because not because of any world record or Olympic record, because Noah Lyles ran the exact same time as his main competitor, Kashane Thompson, at 9.79, right? It's just that 0.005 was the difference between them. And in being realistic, that dive at the end, that extra push at the end by Noah Lyles was really the difference. It looked like, especially at the very end of the race, that Noah wanted it more. You know what I mean? Deep in his soul, he wanted it more. And that goes to a conversation about manifestation, a visualization, realization, because if you want it, if you work hard enough, you can get there. Now, Noah Lyles was the favorite coming into this whole competition because he won the World Championships last year, right? So that World Championships is obviously a smaller version of the Olympics, where track guys and athletes guys, sprint guys compete. It's the exact same format, all that. And in those championships, that's when the viral video of him saying championships of what, you know what I mean, came along, and he dissed the whole NBA. So he was talking his ish, you know what I mean, and comparing athletics, track and field versus, organized sports like the NBA, right? And especially how the NBA say they're world champions. Now, obviously, the logic is very simple to understand. The best players in the world are usually drafted into the NBA, right? So all of the best players, or most of the best players, compete against each other in the NBA, and because the NBA these past few years, more specifically these past 10 years, has become very globalized. You have all types of players from all around the world competing against each other in the NBA, and that's why they consider the people who win the championship in the NBA to be world champions. Okay, so if the Boston Celtics, who just won the chip recently, was to play the EuroLeague winners, I think it would be absolute destruction. It would be absolute destruction. And what we're watching right now is the men's USA basketball team finally get into form and actually start whooping on teams now when they were struggling within the first few exhibition games. So there was a mini beef between NBA Twitter and the NBA world versus Noah Lyles. Compound that with the beef between Noah Lyles and Oblique Seville, which is very, very interesting. As y'all saw in that interview that Noah Lyles had, Oblique Seville, and the irony to twist all ironies, ended up being the last out of all 8 participants in the 100-meter finals. He ended up being the last. And guess what his time was? 9.91. Absolutely insane. You are losing. You're the last in your heat with that number. Absolutely insane. And what makes it more insane is that Oblique Seville had beaten Noah Lyles in the first round, in the semifinals. My bad. And they stared at each other and gave each other kind of like evil look, like, yo, ops, like they don't rock with each other. Like, it was some basic, like, yo, I don't rock with you either. It was a beef. And Oblique Seville was actually placed right next to Noah Lyles, and they, like Noah Lyles was saying, in their history, it never happens. So what happened in this case is that Noah Lyles, in his revenge tour, right, decided, bruh, I'm just going to bust up Oblique, man. Bust him up, no diddy. And he did. He did so much. And here's something that I want to mention that a lot of people might not mention, but it's very, very important. Kashane Thompson was right next to Fred Curley. Fred Curley won the, I believe, the bronze medal. He ran a time of about 9.81, right? So everybody in the race was running sub 10 seconds. It was absolutely beautiful to see. Very close competition. Extremely close. Literally a photo finish. I think Fred Curley was pushing Kashane Thompson. And I believe Kashane, instead of focusing on his race and his, goal for gold, he focused so much on beating Fred that he didn't see Noah coming at the back end. No diddy. And with Noah coming at the back end with his fruity self, Fruity Pebble, he was able to beat out the whole competition, man. It's that grit, that desire to win, that drive to say, hey, I'm not catching this L, MFer. I'm not. I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that I do not catch this L. And I'm not going to leave here with a loss. I'm not going to do that. The heart of a champion. And we have to give him credit for this. Even though I don't like the dude, I barely respect him. I think he's a dweeb. I think he's weird. I think he's corny. But guess what? It doesn't matter what I think. What he is, in fact, is the fastest man in the world, the Olympic champion. And in the next 4 years, he is crowned as the fastest man in the world, man. Let me know how y'all feel about it. Amazing race in my point of view. Fantastic. Big JTV, like, comment, sub, man. Share the content if you like the content. Want to support your boy, I'm out.